all of you. Am I audible to all of you? Can you please respond in chat? Hello?
Yes, Somadip, you are audible.
Hello? Hi. Hi, all of you. Can you please respond in the chat box, please? How was this week? Very volatile, isn't it? Still no response from the chat window. Hi, this is Shorudeep here. And I, along with Vivek sir, will be next 1 hour. We'll discuss about the market for all of you. So first half an hour will be I will be discussing the markets, and then I will me and Vivek sir together will discuss about the questions that you have. Now let us first going into the stock. First look at the Nifty chart for what Nifty did this week. Very volatile. 4 days of down move, and today a very bullish candle. What Nifty did is that if you see this gap that was there created, just almost fill this gap. So high was 4336.35 and the low was 350. So it does not fill the gap, but basically it came so close to this and then it moved up for the day. Now if I look at the hourly chart of the Nifty, what I will find that a kind of trend line, if I ignore this latest kind of trend line, that trend line has been broken and Nifty has closed above this. So possibly there is the possibility if Nifty continues to stay above this 14,700, it can move towards this zone, that is 14,950 in next week. Towards this zone it can move. Now we can see that the hourly chart in the morning, a very good hammer was formed initially, and after that it did not look back, and it has moved above this trend line. For the Bank Nifty, it momentarily went above this trend line. I will show you. But actually, for the Bank Nifty, it did not actually close above this trend line. So Nifty and Bank Nifty both are hanging on balance. Above 14,700, we will find Nifty moving in a bullish way next week, and below 14,700, Nifty may try to retest those lows. Okay. Now, if you look at the Bank Nifty is still not that much bullish. I would say Bank Nifty would become bullish more around 34,300, and then it can move towards these levels of 35,400 kind of level. But at present, Bank Nifty is still not that much bullish. Okay. Now, let us look at the global backdrop. See, while we were correcting like this, you can see in the Nifty and Bank Nifty both, the global market, here this is the Dow future, has been more or less range bound with the bullish bias. This is the Dow future. But let us first look at the main driver of the global market, that is the US bond yield. Now, this was the day of the Fed. Now, what Fed announced is that for next 3 years they won't hike the rate, but they expect very high inflation and not very high inflation and very high growth. Actually, they upped the growth target for 2021. So in that environment, what happens is that though there is growth, there is inflation, but the cost of money remains low, right? If the bond, if they decide that they won't increase the interest rate. So what happens? Though the inflation is there, but the demand is not perturbed that much because in US a lot of demand is created by credit, and the credit cost remains low as the interest rate is low, right? And the cost of money for the businesses who invest into employees, plants, processes, that also remains low. So overall operating margin is likely to be very high. So that's why you can see that Dow is looking quite bullish. But in spite of Fed saying this, the bond yield actually has risen on that day. After that day, bond yield has risen. And yesterday's devastating fall in Nifty, like if I talking about Nifty, this was yesterday's fall, devastating fall, and today's downfall, like almost 400-500 points. That happened due to this movement, this DX movement. The dollar index moved very sharply on the upside. Okay, and then today the dollar index is coming down. Now, even though the dollar, even the US bond yield is coming down, what is happening is that that dollar index is more or less range bound because the economy having growth, inflation having being high, and still the interest rate will be lower. That means there will be a lot of bond purchases or money printing by the US government, and that is actually not very macro positive for the US dollar. So US dollar has been in the range, and US dollar, what I will tell you is that if it doesn't move above 92, then it will be a comforting factor for all the asset classes, especially if I talk about the crude, the emerging market like us. But still, it is in a bullish territory. You can see until and unless it trades below 91.30 consistently, we cannot say that it is uh, still out of danger. We are out of danger. The moment it start trading below 91.30, we can be quite sure that there would be not currency threat in our market. Okay. Right now, our more focus should be more on this DX rather than the bond yield, because the bond yield uh, will be artificially kept low by the Fed in some way in a later stage. Maybe right now it is not happening, but you can see US dollar, if it is steady and moving above 92, then we will be again facing problem in our market. Now, let me go to the crude oil front. See what happened is that crude oil, let me give you the view of the daily chart once again. So if I look at the daily chart, and I told you, if you remember, me and Vivek sir and me actually had done a session, and we told that this was a very important, that 61, the break that happened, and as long as above 61, it can be bullish. Now, right now it is hanging in balance, but this support has been broken of 61 approximately, and now if it stays below 61, there is a quite high possibility that it will go towards 53, 54. So this is the support, cluster support zone. If you look at right now, this is the cluster support zone in crude oil. This 59 to 58, this is the no trading zone. Like above 60, it is bullish, and below 58, it would move towards 54. So this is a no trading zone, a kind of support also. So from the crude front, this we have to look at. And if this starts falling actually, then stocks like Asian Paints below 58, if WTI goes, WTI crude oil goes, we will see Berger Paints, Asian Paints, all those stocks actually having a quite a good uh, environment, right? Now, let me go to the stocks. Okay, so today what I have done is that I have noted down these stocks and we will discuss all these stocks. Okay. And as Nifty has turned bullish, most of the stocks I have noted down in the bullish side. You know, in the bearish side, what we discussed yesterday, like Hero MotoCorp. Let me recall the ideas that were discussed yesterday. So around this level, I told you that it could be shorted, and from 3160 it went to around 3030, 4% drop. Hero MotoCorp. Okay. Granules, another stock on the downside that we had given yesterday, and below this level. At 311 we gave it, it went to around 295. Now it has again started moving up. Okay. Also today we said about Tata Motors. So Tata Motors, after we gave, made this low of 290 from 295 level, almost 2% move, but then the buying came in. Two other stocks which actually with the market reversal did not perform, like one is SRF, and I'm looking at hourly chart. So I gave SRF on the sell side when it was around 5150, and I said below 5225. So 75 rupees of kind of a stop, but it actually moved higher SRF. Okay. So as soon as it crossed over 5225, there was a very sharp pullback of 4%, and then it came down. Another which didn't work today was, I think, Amara Raja battery. I gave it with the 5 rupees stop today. Like when it broke this level, and if I go to the daily chart, you will understand why I gave it. So it was a kind of a breach of this level, It was, and we gave, if you remember, we gave sell trade earlier also. But today, what it happened is that below 861, we said that it can go lower if it remains below 865, but actually it moved up for the day. Now today, the stock which we gave and performed very beautifully was SDFC. So SDFC, yeah, this is the stock. So why I gave this stock was, again, this is a very good level to see around this level. When I gave it, it was around 85 and it went to around 2567. So almost 3-4% it moved up. The reason I gave it because this was prior swing high, and you can see that it came to the mid Bollinger. RSI was well above 50. So this can be a very good zone for a stock like SDFC if you can buy it with a stop of maybe 2470 kind of a stop. On the upside, it can go towards 2900. You can see that. Now, as we are not very sure that which way market can be, because above 14,700 market can be bullish for 250 points, below 14,700 market can be bearish. So let us, what we can do is that let us look at individual stocks. Okay. So first Chola Finance, and I will be moving to the daily chart. Chola Finance. So if you see that this stock has not been very weak, and the stock is on the verge of fresh breakout. So above 560, if you see, let me enlarge it a little bit. Okay, so that it is more visible to you. Okay, so above 560, this Chola stock, it can become bullish. Coforge, again, this stock is in a bullish zone. I purposefully try to give more bullish stock in this session, because what happens is that a lot of people don't have the capacity to play in the derivatives, and until and unless you play in derivatives, only intraday can be done in the short side. So I generally try to give bullish stock for that reason, because everyone can participate. On the short side, only because you need to hold it overnight, you cannot sell a stock in cash and go back, and that's why I give sell ideas only during the day in the TMT and in the club. So here again, Coforge, I see that it is quite bullish and possibly above uh, 3040, it can go bullish. Now, this stock I have chosen Concor for a different reason. It is still not a Concor fund. This one. So we can see here a bullish engulfing pattern, RSI moving above 50. Now I said that let us wait for it to sustain above 570. Then it can have a fast movement, and there is a shortage of containers in the uh, global market. So we will have a look at this if it sustains above 570. Okay, Cummins India again, very good stock, and all this market bearishness has not had any effect on Cummins India. See, above, so if you get around 840, 850 in some correction, it is a great buy. Otherwise, also if it breaks above 930, you can buy. So any pullbacks towards 840 or breakout above 930. Okay. Deepak Nitrite, another very good stock. So see, you have to have an idea that Deepak Nitrite is bullish, but suppose you take a long position and it dips below 1470, you just exit this stock because it can go down a lot. But if it maintains above this 1490 or 1480, I would say, you hold on this stock because this can very sharply move towards 1700. This is a very bullish structure. This has been a flag correction. And if it sustains above 1490, and given the RSI is turning around, given this is a hammer kind of a formation, so whenever you enter, have a stop loss of 1470, 1480. Below that you exit because it can dip a lot. But if it sustains above this, you can have a quite high target. Okay. Aisha Motor. Okay. Now this is the bullish stock in the otherwise bearish auto pack. So you can see that it is sustaining above this mid Bollinger, and if I tell you that if you can, two ways can be traded. See, once it moves above 2730, you can take a long above upper Bollinger also. Then there is no momentum play, and earlier swing lows are also being crossed. Or if it pulls back to 2600, you can buy because it is sustaining above the mid Bollinger. RSI is just above 50, but yeah, still it is a good buy, I think. Grassy, one of the best stocks in this market at this moment. Okay, I would be say the stock of the week should be Grasim. See, Grasim is in a very bullish mode. Okay, all this market correction, it has just consolidated, and possibly it will break above 1420, 1425. RSI, you can see the way it is moving. Grasim can be one of the best stocks next week. Okay, along with SDSP. Okay, IndusInd Bank. Okay, it has pulled back to support. Let me show you that this was the price doing high. It is twice price it has. Now with a support around 980, if you get around 980, you can buy, or above mid Bollinger 1060, you can buy. But possibly you will get an opportunity near 980, 990 with a 10, 1 or 2% stop loss. You can buy. It can work. Okay, but it is not as bullish as Grasim. So it is a pullback buy, and that is a breakout buy. Okay. Now another stock, Infi. Infi is looking good to me, and Infi is one of the stocks which gives result before other companies. So you see a very sharp pullback yesterday after an up move, and then it sustained above. So anything you can get a pullback 1325, 1330, RSI above 50, you can get into this stock. It can move above. And while I am talking, I can see that the crude oil is again falling sharply, and US 10-year is both are actually falling. Okay, so you can imagine that overall this should be good to uh, Indian market. And in spite of this kind of a crude oil rally this week, as I'm seeing in the in my mobile in the FX reserve, Indian Forex reserve have gone up this week. Okay, by $2 billion. So Indian forex is also reserves is also overall stable. So overall, Indian market can be quite bullish if it sustains our 14,700. And this was possibly the pre-earning season dip that happens many a times in the market, and possibly market can be ready going up for the earning season. You can see 14, 13, 20, 30, 30 was a very good support. There was a double bottom in Infosys, and above this it can turn bullish. Okay, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. This stock is also looking good. Mahindra and Mahindra. Okay, this one. A flag pattern breaking out, possibly buy about 280 to 20, this kind of a level. It is possibly going high. So one of the better stocks for next week, along with above, if it trades about 220, along with Grasim. So power grid, okay, another important stock and possibly moving higher. So see, if it sustains above this 227, 228 level, it may possibly break 240, also move higher. One of the better stocks. UPL. All the chemical, commodity, cement, all these kind of stocks are not looking good. If it pulls back to 600, if you get that, it was very good pullback, you should buy, because see here the early swing low was here, and if it sustains over 640, then also buy, because this is a very good flag pattern. That is, and you see consistently RSI is above 50. Okay, so a lot of stocks we are discussing. This stock, VDL, looks very beautiful. One of the best stock along with. So if you ask me, my choice would be Cummins, uh, uh, Grasim, VDL, and maybe Cholafin for next week. Okay. So VDL is very good, looking very good. Though it is dependent a little bit on the crude oil, but looking very good. So above 220, if it sustains, or rather I would say if it sustains above, it has never become very bearish. Okay, so 223, 224 above, if it sustains, try to buy it. It may go above 230 also and move higher. Okay, last is Voltas, predicted a lot, stock of Voltas, uh, but uh, now it sustains below 975. So this is a two-way thing. Here is the hammer. If it sustains below 975 or ideally break 960, you can go short into it because RSI is below 50. If it sustains above, don't buy it because you have better options, but goes below 960 to take it for the short side. Now, let me tell you why this crude oil thing is happening a little bit on the COVID front. Okay. Very unfortunate that in the market scenario we have to discuss this COVID every time, but yeah, this actually drives the crude oil and other commodity market. So let us have a look at it. Now, see, yesterday again 5 lakh 50,000 case. Let me go here actually. So this is the global picture. You see that the bottom was made around 3 lakh 80, 3 lakh 90, and it has again started going up 5 lakh 40,000. But as generally happens that death increase after with a lag, what we are seeing right now, the death number is still below 10K. Once death number starts staying above 10K, we can see daily death again moving towards 115K, and that will be a problematic thing. Especially, I will show you the situation in Europe, because Europe and USA are the most important part. So you see the cases has again started going above. Cases has again started. No, this is the total figure they are showing. This is not Europe specific, but cases has again started going above 2 lakh. Earlier it dipped to 1 lakh 10,000, 20,000. France, Italy, all this, Germany, Spain, bigger economies, they are having huge number of cases and huge number of deaths also. So this is the cause of worry. North America is doing one of the better because if you remember that few days ago, US was having 3,000, 4,000 deaths and almost 1 lakh 40,000, 50,000 cases every day. If I go to the US, so the places where most economic activity in the world happens is US and Europe. Okay, so US, I will show you the graph. It is available. Yeah. So if you see that the death number from a figure of 4,000, it has come to 16,700, and overall cases are also declining. It went to almost 3 lakhs, or basically 2 lakh 40, 50,000 for quite a number of days. Now 60,000, so quite good. So I hope you understand that we are right now having a very nice situation in the case of US, and recovery is happening. Now, crude oil will fall because India is one of the most growth drivers of crude oil. And if it dips below 58, as I said, we will correct. Let us look at the India thing also. The best thing for India is that though the cases have jumped, and if you remember that the day it will cross 25, we will see a spike. If you remember, I was discussing. So this was 25, 29, 35, and 40K in 4 days from 25 to 40K. And possibly it will go to 50K and then again start to settle down. But the best thing in India is that the deaths are not increasing. Deaths are still 130, 140, and uh, by God's grace, if things are not that bad that there is imposition of a lockdown, I think we can see good rally into the market, and especially all those commodity related, which are difficult to set up. See, services you can work from home. Okay, any service you can work from home. IT services, any services, but manufacturing is very dependent on human intensive plants. Okay, so if the plants are closed, if there is problem in people working in plants, then what happens? The commodity production in countries like India, China, USA will come down, and that's why you can see that although all the stocks are declining, the cement stocks are up, the chemical stocks are up, the steel stock. I have not shown you Tata Steel. You can look at Tata Steel. See, this is bullish. Okay, JSW Steel, very bullish. Above 450, it will rock. One of the most bullish stocks, JSW Steel. Hindalco, very bullish, very bullish. Okay, just corrected, but if sustains above 340, can rock towards higher level. Yeah, let me discuss two more stocks and then I will hand it over to Vivek, sir. See, this is State Bank of India. Uh, what it has done is that it has filled the gap. That gap was created after the magnificent result. Now you are in a very sweet spot. Okay, 358 is a kind of a support. So if with 355 you can play for the upside, below 355 you can short. So a lot of people are interested in a stock like State Bank of India. Let me discuss. Let me show this, and another stock. Let me show you ITC also. So kind of a breakout from a double bottom can move towards 230, 240 level. One more stock I had in mind. I suddenly I'm just forgetting the stock. So I think I will recall it while the rest of the session is there, and I will discuss that stock. Okay. So one was SBI and other somehow I'm just forgotten. It it was in my mind. So thanks all of you. Vivek sir, it is all yours now. 6:30. So I hand it over to you, and I'm coming to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you and good evening, everyone. Yet another Friday, and we have reasons to discuss a lot of things this week. Week has been quite busy and very engaging week. Well, the writing was there in the wall, isn't it? And it was quite apparent that something is definitely wrong. The way bond yields were going up, the way Overall dollar was also showing sign of strength. Something was not right, and something was supposed to happen, and it did happen. So, uh, fortunately and unfortunately, it has worked. In some things, it has worked in favor. In some things, it has not worked in favor. So, if you have cash market position, I think your mic is on. Let me just switch off your mic. That's okay. I'll try. Okay. So if you have a cash market position, then obviously you'll be very worried because I'm sure that most of your positions, if you have taken positions at the higher level, then quite a lot of your positions will be in negative zone right now. But if you have been taking consistent position in strong stocks, probably you would be in a loss margin right now, but that's nothing to worry because a strong stock will always have a high propensity to revert back very, very fast. Okay. So how do we deal the situation now from here? Because we already probably have few stocks in our portfolio. I am already having a lot of posts. Although I've been telling this that it's always good to keep it light, not go overboard because market has already become so overheated that the risk reward ratio is not favorable, and it was always advisable to keep on booking profit, and small profit and small stop loss would actually be the better strategy at this moment, and I'll still continue with the same thought process. See what has happened. Fed has obviously given the commitment that to 2023 they have no intention of increasing the interest rate, which is not a news because everyone had information about that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि उन्होंने नया बोल दिया कुछ. Obviously, they have given an outlier that inflation, they will also keep a close watch on inflation. And in case inflation goes up, then they will come back to the market. But market, as always, does exactly opposite of what everyone thinks. So market that day, the yield curves went up, and I think yield has become the glamorous word these days. So a lot of people are using yields, and suddenly beer they found the opportunity to go short in the market, and they won that battle. But from here, obviously, it's not going to be very easy for the bears to win the battle or long-term system because the interest rates overall is low and the economy is recovering from a very bad phase to a much better vibrant phase. And commodity cycles have also gone up. The concern of COVID has begun once again. So it is not going to be that rally which we have seen from 8,000 to 12,000, 13, 15,000, 14,000. But obviously from here, as I've always told, that market will not be correcting like mad. Okay. Market definitely will go up, go down, go up, go down. So the rally in the market will not be as steep as it was earlier. Okay. And this is something which we have been talking about. Always look at stocks. Fortunately, unfortunately, a lot of stocks which we were discussing, some of them has gone down. Some of the stronger stocks like Grasim, etc., has still not fallen and still showing strength. So figure out the stocks which have strength, and if market stays here or probably recovers a bit, which is very likely market will do, at least till 15,150. Yes. Maybe till 15,150 market is probably going to stay here, and the next big rally probably will come after 15,150, which is not going to be easy to crack up. So stock specific action is something which you all have to get into. And again, I'm repeating same thing, that do not put whole money in one stock or in couple of stocks in one go. So if you intend to invest say 20,000, 50,000, a lakh rupee in any stock because the stock is strong, for example, Grasim, if you believe that the stock is strong, that do not invest 1 lakh right now, stage it up 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, because that gives you a tremendous advantage of buying the stock at a lower level. So these were the markets when you actually get an opportunity to buy strong stocks at the lower level. So take advantage of this market situation. Strong stocks will perform and they will keep on performing because the whole business cycle has turned. Interest rates are low and they will remain low for some time. In fact, India also 10-year GSEC, people are saying that it will remain low at around 6%. So for the coming 1 to 2 years, there is no panic in terms of market going down until unless COVID takes a disastrous shape, which doesn't look like, but know what can happen. It's an unknown territory for all of us. But interest rates remaining low, market is not in a hurry for steep correction. There will be corrections, but whenever market recovers, the strong stocks will show phenomenal return to all of us. Okay. Now let me share my screen and share and discuss with you few things looking at the chart, and then I will take some questions from all of you. Okay. So let me switch off my webcam and let me draw the chart. Again, repeating the same thing, sector allocation or sector rotation is the most crucial thing right now, because the money flowing from one sector to the other sector, which I have told you lot many times, that you have to design screen like these, which can show you what is happening in individual sectors and which stock of that sector is probably giving you some kind of an outperformance. There may be a lot of stocks which we have discussed in the past, which you should also look at, because all the stocks which I have discussed in Stockage Club are fundamentally strong stocks, and they will have higher propensity of recovering very fast if market remains here or market recovers. Okay. So let's go through this sector rotation module and see what do we have here. So first, Nifty. Look at Nifty. Look at this 21-day moving average. What a lovely support Nifty has taken in 21-day moving average. Last time when Nifty fell from 14,650 to around 13,500, again it took a support here. Yesterday also the market has taken support here. Okay, so that means Nifty probably from here, again probably, that it may not go below 14,550. So low of today, which was 14,350, becomes a very good support of Nifty. Okay. Let's see the sectors. Let's see the private banks. What is it talking about? So let's see the Nifty private bank index. So Nifty private bank index relative strength is above zero. So, but the 2-hour relative strength is weak. Okay. But the end of the day relative strength is zero, is above zero. And the price is started trading just above the 21 period moving average. So not one of the greatest structure you would like to be in a sector, but I mean, it's a sector where you can start thinking of becoming contrarian, but not the one of the greatest structure. Probably I will wait for more confirmation from RS that if it goes above this, gives a very strong uptrend, then I will probably go all in banking, private banking. But right now, not very convincing vis-a-vis the other sectors which we have. Okay, so let's see each and every stocks. Let's try to evaluate. So RBL Bank, definitely not. Bandhan Bank, again you see RS is zero, below zero for some time, so definitely I'm not putting money here. IDFC First Bank, still considerable. Okay, so if my private bank index is going up or showing me strength, then probably this bank, IDFC First Bank, should be the bank where I should put my money. And what should be the price level? This moving average, which is a 21 period moving average, which is around 62. So whenever it crosses this 21 period moving average, ideally I should enter this stock. So you should write down these, that okay, this is the stock I should buy when the moving average crosses this. So actually you can put an alert here. So you right click here, you set an alert. If you have the subscription of TradingView, you set an alert whenever this crosses 62, just inform me, so I will get an alert from TradingView. Okay. Let's see ICICI Bank, what's there. Not bad. If you see ICICI Bank, it's again the same thing. It has started trading above 55 period moving average. And if the private bank index starts showing out performance, probably I will look at ICICI Bank also. Let's see Axis Bank, same story, better than ICICI Bank. So given an option, I will definitely, if I have to participate in any private bank, because the RS is showing very good strength in Axis Bank, so I'll probably trade the Axis Bank. Let's see the index IndusInd Bank. Not bad, almost like ICICI Bank, but not bad. It's okay. HDFC Bank, uh, not really good. So I would probably avoid HDFC Bank. So one of the good trades probably I can have is buy Axis Bank and sell HDFC Bank if people are interested in pair trading, because HDFC Bank definitely looks weaker relative to the Axis Bank. Kotak Bank still looking weak, although from a long-term investing perspective, I'm holding it for a lot of period. For my holding in Kotak Bank will be for a period of 10 years. That is for my kids. But on an immediate momentum basis, Kotak Bank is still weak. It needs to recover on the end of the day basis. And Federal Bank, okay, but not great. So what are the banks that I will look at if private banking sector recovers? Axis Bank and IDFC First Bank, right? So what you guys need to do is exactly what I have done. Figure out the indices, sector indices, what are they doing, and figure out the stocks which will have high propensity to recover, and probably start building your smaller portfolio around those stocks if the sector index is showing a relatively stronger move. Let's take an example of IT. This is such a phenomenal sector right now. Around RS is around zero. Okay, it is the sector index is also trading around 21 period moving average, which is kind of a indication of strength, but very similar to private banking, but very high chance that this sector will actually do better vis-a-vis the private banking. Now look at the stocks. You see most of the IT stocks will show you strength here. Most uh, and the guys and the stocks which are showing you strength in both the time frame, 1 day as well as 2 hour time frame. These are the stocks where you actually should be ready to put your money, because these are extremely strong stocks, and whenever market will recover, these stocks will actually give you a very good outperformance. Same is the case with Grasim. I heard Shrodip talking about Grasim. Look at this stock. There is no indication of weakness at all, right? The stock fell, took a moving average support, and since then it has been going up. The relative strength end of the day is also strong, and 2 hourly relative strength, which is my short-term swing indicator, is also very strong. So if the stock goes down a bit, this is a stock you should buy, because again I said, when market recovers, this stock will definitely this stock has a higher propensity to give you a better outperformance. Okay, Cummins. Okay. Wow, look at Cummins. On a EOD basis, relative strength is strong, and on a 2 hourly basis also, look at the strength these stocks have. Why will you park your money in some other stock when you have these stocks available in the market which are relatively stronger, right? There is so much news, noise, hoo-ha about market going down and this happening, that happening. Obviously, there will be, because media wants to talk about, uh, you know, things which will create a hula. But if you as a club member, as someone who is very focused on your working, if you just follow the chart of these selected few strong stocks, I'm sure that you will be able to identify 4 or 5 stocks where you will probably put your money, because we all don't have access to unlimited capital, right? We will have what, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, probably 10 lakh money, or 50 lakh money, right? And that money which we have, finally we will be investing in 5 or 10 stocks, right? So don't be under hurry of identifying all kind of stocks. Figure out stocks which are showing strength, and relax, and don't be under pressure of putting a lot of money in various stocks. Let's see PSU banks. Where's the PSU banks? So PSU banks, again, EOD basis has a better structure than the private banks. Look at the strength PSU banks have been showing. They have a better structure, and it is also taking a support above 55 period moving average. So let's identify some PSU banks which has relatively better structure. So Can Bank, okay, not bad. Let's see the other banks. Bank of Baroda, possibly yes. Even I'm holding on to this bank. So you know what I did is, because even I wanted to keep my position light, what I did was, the moment my 2 hourly RS gave me a negative signal, I squared up 50% of my trade. Okay, I'm still holding my rest 50% of the trade, but I have squared up 50% of the trade. My intention is that I will buy back the rest 50% whenever I see there is a strength building up once again. Okay. So this is the model which I did. Maybe you can figure out your own model. You can probably see 1 year chart or 1 hour chart, or you can see probably 15 minutes chart. That depends upon your risk appetite and your horizon. But the model which I have adapted is that on a EOD basis, I'm finding out the strength in a stock. And whenever on a 2 hourly basis, if I see RS going down, I square up 50% of my trade and I wait for the strength once again so that I can buy that stock again if the EOD chart still suggests me buying in that particular stock. Okay, let's see which stock has which PSU bank will give me better returns. So I'm just trying to figure out which bank. Uh, this is interesting. So State Bank of India. Out of all the above banks, you see State Bank of India looks to be a better choice because the shape and size of relative strength is actually quite impressive. And the stock has moved, already given a reverse signal, and it is trading far above the 55 period moving average. So if I have to play my PSU bank play, then State Bank of India could be one stock. Indian Bank looks impressive as well. Union Bank, not so great, but yeah, okay. You see, most of the PSU banks right now are trading at a strength over Nifty. So UCO Bank certainly not. Indian Overseas Bank, yes, this is also interesting. Similar structure like State Bank of India, so one could look at that also. Maharashtra Bank, yes, looks interesting. Obviously, price has fallen, but see, first thing first, you guys have to understand that price will fall, okay? And stock market is not for weak hearts, and you can't get nervous about कि ऊपर में मैंने लिया था नीचे भाव गिर गया तो मैं क्या करूं. No, so you should have a plan. The plan is that at one price point you should never enter the stock, especially at these kind of valuation in this kind of a market which is so heated up. You will have to, definitely you will have to stage your buying as well as selling. So if you buy today, buy small quantity. Okay, if suppose it goes down further, add on if the stock is still showing the strength. If you follow this model, you will be at a peace. See, market has gone down, even I have incurred losses, but I am not having restless nights. Why? Because I made enough money in last 1 year to sacrifice some losses, okay, and very small losses which I've incurred in last 1 to 2 days, which I know that it will recover. So the pattern always is that when you make a lot of money, then you obviously lose some money, and then you prepare yourself for the next leg of big money making. So that this whole intermission of transfer from that first phase of making money to the second phase of making money would involve some losses, and you have to be mentally prepared for that losses. Okay. So if you see on the PSU bank side, if I have to ask which bank you will probably look at if the PSU banking recovers, then State Bank of India, and the other one was Union Bank of India, right? Union Bank? No. Which one? Indian Bank. Yeah. So State Bank of India and Indian Bank will be the two banks I will look at if the market of the PSU banks recover. So, okay, let's see the third one, CNX Realty. Well, reality was doing very good for the last few months, but suddenly this sector has started showing underperformance. I'll be very curious to see what happens with this sector in coming 2 3 days. Um, if the underperformance continues, then definitely this sector is something. Even though if the prices of stocks goes up, I will try to stay away, because if COVID situation worsens, then I think reality again will witness some kind of a pressure in terms of business growth, because whatever business growth happened, it happened because of stamp duty allowance and a lot of impetus from the government. But if COVID thing happened, then reality sector will again witness some kind of a problem. So if the sector index is showing me weakness, I will probably not be part of this sector right now. Okay, CNX Pharma. This sector has been weak for some time, so there is no reason why you should think about investing. Look at what has happened. The sector has been weak. RS has been suggesting clear weakness. Maybe the sector has gone up, again gone down, but I strongly believe that this sector is actually quite a dynamic sector. It's very difficult to comprehend this sector. तो मैं इससे out रहता हूँ. I don't know, maybe other people who understand pharma can give a better judgment, but I definitely am not very comfortable investing in any pharma stock because I don't understand that sector so much. See, all these stocks will show you very, very vivid kind of a movement. Can you handle these movements? I can't handle these movements, right? Because these are very, very wild movements. You don't have control in these stocks, and typically your stop loss will get hit because of unpredictable volatility in these stocks. So I will not go further on this. I have already given my presentation initially of how to create the sector indices. Friends, if you have not seen that, please see the few initial videos which we recorded. This watch list should be the most sacrosanct watch list you should have, because that this not just gives you a sector understanding, but also give you an opportunity to identify stocks which could be strong or weak in that sector. The other thing is, since you guys are part of Stockage subscriber also, you should create the combinations, something similar to what I have created, and try to use these combinations to identify stocks. For example, a combination which I shared in Twitter as well, a combination of price behavior, strength of a stock, as well as the fundamental. For example, closing 52-week high, stock outperforming benchmark index by 1 week and 3 months, increasing relative strength vis-a-vis the benchmark index, either SRS or ARS going above zero, high return on equity, and consistent cash from operation. So this is a combination which I created, which combines the price strength with the business value. And these are the stocks which are here. So what I need to do is, if among these stocks, any stock which is showing me strength on an end of the day basis, I will try to put money in that stock. Okay. How will you exit? See, again, I'm repeating this for the benefit of everyone. My exit style and your exit style could be very different because we all could be very unique in our risk appetite. My exit style is when 2 hourly chart shows me weakness, I exit 50% of my trade, okay? And I will exit rest 50% only when end of the day, RS will start showing me weakness. Having said that, I also continuously keep booking profit by 20%, 25%. And that I've been telling to all of you in Stockage Club, that always keep on booking profit 20%, 25%, so that whenever prices come down, you will have a liberty to enter the the strong stock once again. So that is my way of looking at things. Maybe you guys can book 100% profit. Maybe you can book your loss depending upon your risk appetite and how you look at market. But I have shared with you my style, and if it works with you, you should try that style and see if it is a workable style for your risk appetite. Okay, so let me take few questions from all of you, from few people who have questions, and then maybe if required, I'll continue. Okay, so Alok is asking me, is there, okay, oh, so many questions. Wait. Very Alok is asking me a question, is there a way to get the list of all the major stocks defined in Stockage? So all these stocks which are defined as major in Stockage are the stocks which are available in any of the indices. And typically we have seen that the stock which are available in any of the indices are having liquidity. Okay, so the number would be around, say, 650, 700 stocks, which are part of the yeah, so including Nifty 500, correct. So the number would be approximately, say, 650. Okay. Okay, Trideep is asking, today ICRA gave breakout as per a golden cash market strategy, but how do we enter with proper stop loss? Okay, so let's see ICRA. So by the way, ICRA, there was a lot of delivery happened yesterday. Huh? You see, so this is yesterday. You see ICRA here. Can you see this ICRA? So if you see overall ICRA, there was delivery, the CARE rating, there was delivery. That means the overall rating agencies, they witness a lot of delivery based buying. So obviously that helps in identifying the stocks. Okay, so this is crazy. You see, the best price point to enter this stock was when the previous swing high was broken. So this was the previous swing high, which was around 28, 23. Then the swing high above that was 28, 90, 60, and then the swing high here was around 29, 89. So uh, the only problem with this stock was that RS was still below zero. So based on our model, we would not have bought ICRA because RS was below zero. See, you will miss these kind of stocks, and there's no harm in missing this kind of a stock because these kind of wild moves is very, very difficult to capture. So always better to look at RS stocks which are showing strength and there is a high delivery. That's what golden strategy is all about. So looking on the hindsight, if I was looking at ICRA yesterday, I would not have bought it. Let me see what's the, because RS was less than zero. So I would have missed the opportunity, which is fine with me. Okay. Okay, Ajay is asking, please explain ARS and SRS relative strength. So ARS and SRS relative strength is an indicator which is followed by Pramal Parekh, and it talks about two RS. One is the adaptive RS and other is the static RS. Static RS is just like I follow 55 period RS. Static RS in case of Pramal Parekh is 123 period RS. Okay, and adaptive RS is basically the RS from immediate high to immediate low. Okay, so there are specific dates when market has made swing highs and swing low. So he looks at the larger swings, not the smaller swings. So there are specific dates when Nifty has made a swing high and a swing low. So whenever he calculates the adaptive RS, he deduct that day with today. So that 55 period which I use, 123 period which he used as a static RS, ARS is actually the dynamic RS which he is creating, which gives an indication of the strength of a stock vis-a-vis previous swing high of Nifty. All three probably will serve the same purpose to identify the stocks which are showing strong, but Pramal Parekh has his own unique way of merging both static RS as well as adaptive RS. So you go to scan, when you go to scan, on the price scan, you see there's something called adaptive and static RS scan. If you want to know more about it, just press I and you will get to understand about it. You click here, so there will be multiple scans. One of the important scans which I use is either ARS or SRS going above zero or below zero. Above zero means already one RS is positive and the other RS is trying to follow, or one RS is negative and the other RS is trying to lead. So this gives a pretty good filter of stocks which are probably entering the strength zone. So the way I have created a combo scan is, apart from using my RS which I follow, which is the adaptive relative strength scan, which is this one I follow a lot, increasing relative strength. So this is basically last three period, the stock is showing relative strength, which is basically the strength of a relative strength. So it's a slope of a relative strength that last three periods say relative strength is going up. So that means this stock is showing strength in last three period. So probably the stock will continue to show the strength. So the way I designed this combo scan was, combining both SRS and ARS as well as my RS. Okay, so that's why I added these two. And apart from that, the outperformance of a stock vis-a-vis Nifty on a 1 week and 3 month period. And because I wanted to get into strong stocks which are within 52-week high zone, so I did higher. And cash from operation and high return of equity is the bare minimum criteria to judge a company. So this combination gives me stocks which are fundamentally decent, showing strength, and potentially can give a very, very strong momentum. Okay. Mr. Samudratya is asking, now cement prices going down. Is it advisable to investing in cement sector? I will try to comment in Stockage Club for study case. Okay, so see, I don't look at fundamentals so very deeply. So obviously the fundamental team would be able to tell you whether cement prices are actually going down and you should use that opportunity to invest in the stocks or not. But just look at the cement sector overall. How are they performing and how the cement stocks performing there? So there is no index called cement, so we'll have to go to stockage. Let's go to stockage. Okay, so let's go to so these are the cement stocks we have. uh, so the best way to analyze this is that you identify the stocks which you want to track. Maybe you don't want to track all the stocks in the cement sector. The best way is that you create a watch list of cement. Okay, so let me create a watch list called cement. Okay, and that cement watch list, you add all the stocks of cement. Okay, how do you do that? So just go to sector, just type cement, and these are the top stocks in cement. So you can probably select the top 10. So you have to add. Right now, you have to add one stock at a time. We are working on it so that you can add multiple stocks in the watch list itself. So once you make your own watch list, so let me add cement here. So where is the, so let me add cement here. So you can create your own watch list of these cement stocks. You can take any sector if you want, or you can create a cement watch list in TradingView also. It's a one-time exercise which you have to do if you have to track all the sectors properly. We are working on sector rotation module in Stockage, which will help you to track sector-wise analytics very soon. So in the meanwhile, let me just do this for you.
Indian cement stocks are moving higher.
Yeah, let me just take that here. Okay, so I have added these 4 stocks as my watch list. So these are the 4 stocks I have added. Now, let me see what are my scans saying. So see, this is what is happening in cement stocks right now. So ACC as a stock is underperforming the market. Ambuja Cement is outperforming the market. Shree Cement is outperforming the market and is trading higher. And Ultratech Cement is outperforming the market. So to answer your question, uh, should I invest in cement stock if the cement prices are going down? Because I don't understand cement prices, I'm not sure whether cement prices are actually going down or not, because it's very regional impact. Some states it may go down, some states it may go up. So whatever price is suggesting me, I will blindly follow the stock price. So if the stocks are suggesting me that the stock is strong right now, I will buy the stock. If the stock is suggesting me that the stock is weak right now, I will sell the stock. So I don't do fundamental deeply. I rely on stock price. And if there is strength there, I will be convinced to buy the stock. If there is an added information that cement prices are going up, that's a build on to my theme of investing in that sector. Nagendra is saying, how can we build the list in the TradingView like yours? Can I get any guidance or video? Well, Nagendra, what I can do is this list I will export. I will export this list and I will share with all of you, okay? So that you can import this list. So sector indices, TradingView, okay? So this I have exported. I will send this to all of you. Can I send this here? No. I will send this to all of you, and you can just import in your watch list here. So just import the list, and you will get the list right in your watch list. Okay, Somin is asking, sir, is there any way to see history of PE of any stock for index, especially Nifty 50? We don't have history of PE because the data of PE was not very convincing. We didn't like it. But if you have to see history of PE, then go to screener.in. I use them for this purpose, although I'm not very comfortable with their data also. But nonetheless, I do use them for PE data. So here you will see there is a P which you have given P ratio. So maybe you would like to use them to see the history of P. Okay. Okay. Jagdish is saying whenever 2 hourly RS goes below zero on closing basis, booked half. Yes, that is what I have done. Because of which I liquidated quite a lot of my position earlier. Again, if the stock which show me strength on a end of the day basis, I'll re-enter those stocks, the rest 50% which I have liquidated. Okay. Okay, Mahavir is asking, what's your view on market in coming week? Is year-end impact the market? Possibly yes, because there is large shortage of fund, and obviously March end will always see some kind of a liquidation because people typically park their money from one asset to the other asset. So possibly market can remain weak, or probably it can remain there only. Okay, so. I would not expect a major firework in the market by March end, but April onwards, definitely looking at market to go to a better zone. Okay, Samir is saying the scan feature does not work for the indices. Scan feature works for the stocks. It doesn't work for the indices. Since Vedanta is trying to buy back and delist, will it be good to invest? Well, Vedanta is a commodities company, and it all depends upon the commodity cycle. The management is not known for good things. It's not a very pro small investor management. They try to delist or buy back at a lower price. Now they are coming back. So I would suggest, because the commodity cycle has turned, even the management realized that, I would not suggest you to buy to give it for buyback. Okay, if you believe in that commodity story now in India, globally, I think Vedanta could be one stock we like to invest, but management is an issue. So if you get some other stock with a better management, probably we like to park your money there. Okay, Samir is saying we are not able to add more than 50 stock in watch list, but on your watch list has 69 stocks. Is there a better version? No. In my watch list, how can there be 69 stocks? No, it's maximum 50. Even I can't add more than 50. Maybe I would have added 50, more than 50 earlier, but then now for the last few years, we have restricted it to 50 because of the performance issue. Okay, let me see. Okay, Nagendra is giving his email ID. Okay, Nagendra Singh 7. Okay, fine. So we will definitely revert back to you on your email ID. Okay, guys. So I hope this was a useful session. I hope you guys. Okay, we have Gagandeep asking a question. So let's see DMart. Okay, let's see DMart. What's happening in DMart? So you see, if you see from a long swing perspective, DMart has been above RS0 for some time now. Okay, even though it is correcting, the end of the day RS is still above zero. So if I am playing for a long swing, this stock is a buy for me. Okay, will I buy all full amount into it, full 1 lakh into it? No, I will not. Maybe I'll invest 25,000 or 30,000. Okay, so that if price goes down further and RS still remains above zero, I will buy further. Okay, on a 2 hourly basis, for short swings, I can see that the stock is around RS. So it is still strong, but not showing convincing strength. So yes, on a short swing basis, I can make an attempt, but I'm more convinced with the longer swing So I will buy with an intent of keeping it for a longer tenure. See, I can't invest in DMart with an intention of doing a long swing and keep on looking at the prices. Okay, you have to understand the objective of trading. Long swings and strong short swings have to be clearly defined. Okay, so if you are looking at investing in DMart from a long swing perspective, okay, you can buy with a smaller quantity so that if the price goes down further, you can average it. If you're looking for a shorter swings, wait for a conviction of shorter swing from 2 hourly chart and then participate in a shorter swing, but that shorter swing will have a shorter take profit and a shorter stop loss. Okay, Aarti Drugs. So Aarti Drugs, see, it is just trying to make an attempt to cross zero. Okay, today was the first day when it made a convincing attempt to go and cross RS0. Uh, the price breakout is above this level 740, and it is, so for me this is a good stock, a strong stock. Okay, first thing first, when do I buy? When the RS, which is already started going above zero, is showing me strength and the price breakout has happened, which is around 740. So yes, Aarti Drug, if I get nearest to this level 740, 750, or whatever level the price has closed, I think this is a good stock one can look at, because the RS is already showing me sign of strength. IIFL Finance. So yeah, so this is a strong stock, no doubt about it. And this was one stock which came into delivery data also when it was trading around this levels. So if the price is coming down, this is a stock you have to accumulate. Again, repeating the same thing for the benefit of everyone. Accumulation cannot happen at one price. You have to stage your delivery. So maybe 20-25% at one price, then it goes down further, another 25%. But overall, the stock is strong and it intends to remain strong looking at the structure of the RS. Okay, Somen is asking Dixon. Okay, Dixon. Oh, what happened to the stock? Is there any problem? Was there a split or something? No, there is something. It's not possible. There must be a split. Yeah, 1:5 split. That's what I'm saying. So TradingView has not adjusted the split yet, but I think Stockage has already done that, right? Yeah, Stockage has already done that. Good news. We are better than US firms now. Anyway, so let's go to chart. Okay, so Dixon is a buy. See, look at the strength which the stock is showing. It's in strong mode since so many days. Okay, and trading above all the moving averages. The trend line is, it's trading above the super trend. So Dixon is a buy. There's no doubt about it. Okay, Shomya is asking, is there any basic checklist where I need to invest in stock, whose stock performance I need to buy or sell for intraday or positional? This is kind of a request. Well, I think you should attend my webinar. All of you have access to my webinar. Please attend my webinar. I have clarified a lot of things in that webinar. My golden strategy webinar is good enough webinar to give you a checklist of what are the things which you need to see if you want to play either a long swing or a short swing in a stock. Okay, okay, Kapil is saying, can we discuss FTSE index rebalancing? Uh, See, I'll tell you, Mr. Kapil, there are so many things in the world which probably we may not be able to know. Okay, and how will you learn so many things? I'm telling you, just focus on price. All the other things, rebalancing or any news article related to a stock, that is more of justification of the price move. Okay, please, I'm telling all my club members, appeal to all of you that start looking at stock price and the strength of weakness of the stock price. That will give you a far better understanding of where the stock could potentially go than figuring out the fundamental reason of why this has happened in a stock. Ultimately, stock market is all about cause and effect. Cause is more used to justify the effect. Real people who make money in the market first look at the effect and then try to justify why the effect has happened. So please look at the strength or weakness of the stock and make a judgment based on that rather than figuring out what is happening in rebalancing, what is happening X, because those are our news which has been feeded to all of us through various media platforms. Nagendra is saying on my stockage on the top one stock and up one stock. Can we see all stocks by priority wise? Well, there is something which we have done is when you create your watch list in stockage, your top gainer and top loser will come on your home screen now. For example, in my primary watch list, there are top gainers and top losers here. So maybe you can take advantage of this, but we don't have that facility of sorting stocks. You can see the gainers and losers, but we don't have a facility of sorting a stock based on the gainers and losers in this screen itself. All right, so I hope this was a useful session. As usual, Shuradeep gives his best in terms of his understanding of the market. I try a little bit, which I can. I hope you understand the process and very, very clearly what we want from you is creating your own framework of analyzing the market. The idea is not to feed you with our views because that is the last thing which I want to impose on all of you. Understand the process, figure out what's the right step for yourself, define a process for yourself, and then become independent in market. At some point of time, I wish we may not be of use to you. You become so much independent that you may actually don't need us. Okay. So please define your space, define your edge, and participate in the market in a much more peaceful manner. RS is one study which has given me so much of peace that even if market goes down, I'm not in a state of despair to square up my positions. When market goes up, it gives me enough comfort to build up to my position. So learn the art, practice it. I'm sure you will also succeed the way we all are trying to succeed. Okay. Okay. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourself. We'll see again on Friday. In the meanwhile, I'm active on the platform. Feel free to connect with me in case you need any clarifications. Okay. Bye bye. Good night.